Hey, what's going on, crypto people? It is your boy, the Crypto Siege, with another day in the life, in the crazy life. That is the digital asset space. Good morning, almost good afternoon, huh? Had a dentist appointment right around the time that I normally get to do my drive video, so I'm a little late. But nonetheless, I wanted to talk about, just briefly, because I'm going to cover it in the stream at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time, this idea of, well, let's put it this way. Are we sleeping? I wonder if we're sleeping on the significance of the Nasdaq Xrp Liquidity Index. Are we sleeping on that? Are we sleeping on the fact that Bitcoin and Ethereum will also have a liquidity index? Choose them. You know, I've said on my stream, and my dude Carl Wagner, we always like to point, he had a great comment on one of my videos. He said the globe has a massive liquidity crisis. And XRP is the funnel for liquidity that is the most efficient of them all. You know, and I always say, the global economic crisis has zero patience and waits on no one. And one of his, I love his facts. I'm actually gonna share his 6 or 7 facts that he put on that comment on my video, and share that with you guys this afternoon. But are we sleeping on the Nasdaq Liquidity Index? And what is that really about? So I was listening to DAI earlier today, and he made a point that I thought was really, really interesting and somewhat profound for me. He said that once the institutional money, retail, you know, that institutional money, once they figure out the utility in these digital assets, right? There's 2,000 of them. Once they find out the ones that have real utility, that have a real use case behind them, he said the money that's going to flow into those digital assets is going to be beyond, right? Because the traditional markets are always going to be talking to their clients about their portfolios, right? And that's cool, right? And that's cool. Obviously, that's cool. But when you look at, for example, a Tezos and its platform and the utility behind that at $1 and change, and you look at the utility from Ethereum and its smart contracts at $145, $150, and then you look at XRP and its platform and the use case that it solves at 20-something cents. This is what they're going to be sharing with their clients. And of course, they're going to do the traditional crap, which is diversify and, you know, divide your assets into these different things. You know, the traditional financial planning stuff that they do, which is pretty much just BS. It's just about really selling a product more so than anything else. And it's uber ultra safe for them. But it's certainly not always the best strategies for wealth creation. But in any case, the XRP Nasdaq Liquidity Index is going to be a huge determining factor for Wall Street institutional money, because they know that liquidity is going to be based upon utility, the actual use case, how this digital asset is actually being used. How is it being used, and what problem is it solving? How is it being used? If it's being used, then how is it being used, and what problem is it solving? And so when you look at these let's say 10 digital assets with real use case and real utility, right? Utility for XRP is providing liquidity, right? utility for Ethereum is the smart contracts and how you can build on them, right? So they're going to look at these 10 assets with utility, real use case utility. And that is going to become a thing, right? So the digital asset space will become a new asset class. It is already a new asset class. And these Wall Street and the traditional finance planners like TD Ameritrades of the world and Charles Schwab's of the world and Fidelity's of the world, these regular mom and pop places that you see around here are going to be talking about these utilities, this new asset class. And these are the ones that have real utility, real use case. And these are the ones that are actually doing things in the marketplace, right? They're not going to be talking to them about ideas. They're not going to be talking to them about a great idea that could happen, that might possibly do a thing. They're not going to be talking to them like that. They're going to be talking to them about the real use cases of these digital assets, the ones that do. And I'm telling you, I'm here to submit to you that the Nasdaq Liquidity Index is going to be a huge factor in determining real use case and value for digital assets. Huge. That's why liquidity is just being thrown around every time you turn around. That's why. That's why there's on-demand liquidity. That's why CoinMarketCap said that they were going to liquidity metrics. Because the asset space is moving from, this pure speculation to more of a use case, a utility, and the liquidity that they have in the market. That's going to be the new thing. And when we look at I think it's real interesting how this reporting of the Mexican corridor and the Filipino corridor is really starting to amp up and ramp up. 6 days in a row of record highs for Mexico. 8 days in a row for the Philippines. 8 days. New highs. 8 days in a row. Consecutive days. All of this stuff is going to be pointed out and pointed to when it comes to the value of XRP. All of it. That's what's going to be pointed out, and that's what is going to be pointed to. And the Nasdaq will be looking at that. We'll be looking at that. And whenever this switch comes on, and whenever that's going to happen, whether it be with SBI or whether it be with the ECB, Nasdaq is going to have those numbers. They're going to have those facts, and that price is going to do things like you would never ever have ever imagined. The money that's going to pour in, and the crazy thing about it is the money that's going to pour in from the traditional Wall Street money is going to have nothing to do with the actual liquidity in the market. Utility, sell that product, sell those products to their clients. This is a problem that they're able to solve. There's going to be only, who knows how many, but I'm going to just say 10. And the money's going to pour into that. And when you think at the size of this asset class now, at 191, 92 billion, it's nothing compared to the 200-something trillion, let's say, for example, in real estate. And they know it. They know it. And they're going to see that small, new asset class at 190 billion. I'm talking about Wall Street and their clients. They're going to see that small number. And they're going to say, we got these 10 real things. And they're going to look at gold, and they're going to look at real estate, and they're going to look at the size of that asset class. And then they're going to begin to move those products to their clients and snatch up as many as they possibly can. Because they know. They know. not speculation, not FOMO, the real use case, the real assets with real utility. That will become the new thing in the market. And for us as XRP hodlers, just understand that that Nasdaq Liquidity Index and the fact that we're on it is significant. It's significant. Because, you know, like I said in my video the other day, who's going to argue with the Nasdaq? This is, you know, Wall Street's going to point to it and look to it. Who's going to argue with the Nasdaq Liquidity Index? That would be no one. Now they may debate. They may debate. They're certainly not going to ask Nasdaq to take it down. They're not going to ask Nasdaq to take that thing down. So that's going to be the key for us. And we're going to talk about that some more this afternoon at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time on this channel. Are we sleeping on the significance of the Nasdaq Liquidity Index? And what is it all going to mean for the price of XRP? We're going to take a look at this afternoon. So guys, listen, I'm going to wrap this video up like I do all videos. Never ever forget this, guys. Old money doesn't want you to win. They don't want us to win. They would rather us remain a cog in their perpetual wheel of trading our time for dollars. They don't want us to play in the same playground that they play in, where we allow our money to work for us. This is our chance to win, guys. The digital asset space is our chance to win. We are in the midst of the greatest transfer of wealth in the history of man. Are you participating? Or are you standing on the sidelines? Here's what I do know. That the battle for you has already been fought. And the victory is yours. Go get it. I'll talk to you soon, guys. See ya. Bye.